Hello everybody, Patrick here, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I say as I've been doing a little bit different this entire upload schedule thing. Today we are going to be looking at a figure and an upgrade kit. This figure I did do a little bit of custom work to, and I did get it from a friend. It's missing 2 accessories. Not that I care, because the upgrade kit fixes that. Today we are looking at Transformers Legacy United Animated Universe Motormaster. So here we are. There he is. As you can see, I did do a little bit of custom painting. It's not the greatest, but hey, it's... Okay, the wheels are definitely worse than Optimus, but hey, at least I didn't do the fucking grill. Or the vents or shit. That being said, as you can see, I did give him a cab stripe. Just ignore that, pretend this is black. So yeah, I got this from a friend, Zeno the Archivist. Thank you again so much. And yeah, I'd been looking for this figure for a little bit, because I wanted to get that DnA upgrade kit. And we will look at that here in a minute. But yeah, so they sent me this figure, completely without me asking. It was just in a box with a couple other things I sent. Again, you rock. But yeah, as you can see, the base truck is just the same as Animated Prime. By the way, he was missing his light bar and axe when I got him. Again, not that I care, the DnA kit fixes that. But yeah, as you can see, they are the exact same truck, other than colors, and of course, axe and light bar. But yeah. So yeah, I love the deep transparent purple. You can see a bit of dust in him, because I live in a very dusty area. Yeah, I love the deep transparent windows. I really wish they had painted these purple. I might go back and get a really, really dark shade of purple and do it. Who knows? I like this nice deep shade of purple for the majority of the cab. You can see the robot mode grill and part of the robot crotch. Oh well. Yeah, and they even picked out some, or molded in some taillights. That's freaking cool. But yeah, as you can see, some nice green there for these. I painted, because when I got this figure, a lot of the paint on this side was scratched up, as well as some of the paint on the crotch. I didn't bother touching that up. So that was part of the reason I went and, painted, was because this was a little fucked up, and because of how often I mess with this figure, the paint's already getting more fucked up. But, it is what it is. But yeah. It's a nice looking truck. For comparison, I already brought in Animated Prime, but we can, bring him back in. As you can see, being the exact same mold, they're the exact same size. If you remove the light bar, Which I think, in Animated, he did actually drive like this, but with a like a G1 trailer, without his light bar. In one episode, it was, the Headmaster one, where Bulkhead loses his body. They did do that, which, I only saw going back. Here he is with the Studio Series 86 Prime, my knockoff. As you can see, he's a bit shorter, but also size difference. This was originally sold as a Commander class and re-released as a Leader, so it is going to be bigger. Also, the legs on this one compress, the legs on this one don't, so, But, I still say they look pretty good together. And here he is with Animated B. I do have the Animated Waspinator. I think I did a review on him. I don't remember. He fell, and now I can't find him. But, yeah. So here he is with B. And, yeah. So now I've been mentioning the upgrade kit. So let's bring it in. First thing we're going to do is this little sleeper cab section. This tabs in right up here. And that just makes it look so much better. That already looks really good. Yeah, next we're going to bring in this giant block, which is the upgrade, the upgrade kit. Let's raise this up a little bit. It's basically the same as their animated Optimus, only instead of a hammer, you get a gun to make a trailer top, and instead of water cannons, you get these pieces, which have little missiles in them, which is really cool. And then you're just gonna plug it in using these posts into the ports on his feet. Just do that. Yeah. As you can see, it makes it look like a more complete truck and trailer. Next, the head, the Motormaster, or Menasor head, which does look really good. Let's take a look at it right now. It looks really good. It looks almost identical to the one Derek J. Wyatt drew, only in that these silver sections on the side were black. I don't care, this looks a little bit better, I'm gonna say. It doesn't have really a place to store officially, or tab in. So what I do is I just open this section right here and just plop it in, close that up, it works just fine. And then we have the sword, which looks fucking cool. It's nice and silver. There's a bit of dog hair on it. Yeah. Just uses these tabs and these slots to store right up here. And then, there we go. Animated Motormaster with the upgrade kit. Bringing back in the comparisons, you can see how much longer it makes him. I do want to get the upgrade kit for him. What I might end up doing is getting the Bayway version. And then just using the upgrade kit from that for him. As long as I didn't change anything that, would be essential. Here he is again with 86 Prime. And here he is again with animated Bumblebee. Just so you can see how much, longer it makes him. And yeah, I really like this. This does look like a truck and trailer you'd see in animated. One thing is, sometimes the clearance between this wheel and this isn't the greatest, so it, doesn't like to roll very well. But as you can see right here, this wheel is just not hooking up. And same on the side, it just sometimes does not like to do that. If you push it down a little bit, it works, but still. But yeah. As you can see, the color matching with the purple isn't 100%, but it wasn't going for a perfect color match. Because, if you guys don't know, this is a repaint of DnA's original upgrade kit for this guy. The first one was a lot closer to his colors, with this being black, these being black, all that. And then they, re-released it in Menasor colors. And this is the version I wanted. But yeah, as you can see, it looks pretty good. Obviously the different colors make it look a little disjointed, but I don't care. It still feels like it would fit in animated. So, Anyway, let's get on to transformation. So first, you're gonna wanna remove the trailer. If you want to have, Motormaster separate from the trailer, one thing I found to store the head is you come in here, open up the hands a little bit, just kind of put the horns into the palms, like this, and then close up the hands, and that holds it pretty securely. Yeah, so we're going to move that off to the side. We are going to get my camera stand to make this a little bit easier. He transforms exactly the same as Animated Prime, even with this on top. So you just untab this, rotate it, bring the feet out like this, untab the legs, bring them down, bend it at this hinge right here, and then bend it at this hinge right here, and then just tab it in, accordion the foot down. Same thing on the opposite side. And then he has, you know, legs. For the cab, bring it up. You're going to want to get your finger in right under here. You can see this little raised section. So you can pop the roof and bring it back. You're going to want to untab the front section. Untab the arms so you can then open these sections up. And bring it down like this. You can see in there, these little bits right here are going to kind of rest right there, like that. Then you're going to want to bring these side sections in. Come to the back. These tabs will peg into these slots right here. And you're going to want to bring the chest down. It will kind of friction tab in place right here. And then these sections, you can see this, this one is broken, but these sections will go into these slots right here. And there you go. You're gonna wanna rotate the arms. By the way, they did keep the seats and the, you know, the center console, or, you know, the interior. They did keep that. Then you're gonna wanna come back here, take this section, flip it up, rotate it down, open the hand, bring it out. Same thing on this side. Then you're going to want to rotate the head. Use the hinges on to, you know, kind of angle it, you know, get it wherever you want. And there we go. There is animated Motormaster in robot mode. And he looks good. He looks really freaking good. But yeah, he looks really, really cool. Let's get in close on that head sculpt. Don't mind the paint scratching on the mustache. But this almost looks like it's the head sculpt they used for the original BotCon figure. I know it's not, but it looks like it is. There are differences between the BotCon head and the normal head, or in this head, but still. But yeah, he looks like a wrestler. His head is still in a box, as is Motormaster. And yeah, as you can see, some of the paint on the crotch is scuffed, a little bit of that paint, but, you know, that's what happens when you play with your toys, is the paint will get scuffed. But yeah, he looks really, really good in my opinion. Articulation-wise, the head is on a ball joint. You get a little bit of tilt, full 360. He can look down that far, up that far, and that is partly because of the hinge his head is on. Shoulders can do a full 360. They can go out that far. You do have bicep rotation. This one has a thing where it likes to just come off the mushroom peg, so I have to push it in when I do it, but still. Double jointed elbow. The fist can rotate. You do get waist rotation, can do a full 360. Can kick forward, that far, backwards, about that far, outwards, about that far. Thigh rotation. Nice deep knee bend. You get nice ankle tiltage, and because of the way the foot is, you can get forward and backward movement. That is really, really cool. For accessories, the base Motormaster comes with, again, it's just light bar and axe. I don't have either of those. That being said, if you want, you can take the sword from the upgrade kit and give it to him, and he holds that nicely. You can also give him the gun, but it's a little tight in his hand for some reason. But still, yeah. That looks dangerous. He looks like he's about to fuck you up. For comparison, here he is with Optimus. And like a lot of people have been saying, actually I don't know if it's a lot of people, I've only really heard that toy guy say it, but stand Prime. The axe on his back is weighing him down. I do think this mold suits Motormaster more than Prime, because it's big, bulky, it looks like a bodybuilder. Animated Prime did not look like a bodybuilder. Neither did Motormaster, but it makes sense for Motormaster to look like a bodybuilder. So, yeah. Let's get Prime out of here. And then let's get Prime in here, so you can see how he scales with 86 Prime. That's actually not a bad scale, in my opinion. Yeah, he's shorter, but, like, that doesn't look bad, in my opinion. Also, oh my gosh, the adhesive on this Autobot symbol is basically gone, because I can just move it with my finger. Dinger, damn it. Okay, whatever. Whatever. It's just been really hot. It's 87 in here right now, and I have a swamp cooler, a window fan, a window AC, and 1, 2, 3 fans going, and it's still 83 in here. Or it's still 87 in here. Anyway, there he is with Bumblebee. Now, this figure on its own is great. Like, I do genuinely really like this figure on his own. But that's not all we can do with him. No, no, no. So, let's take the sword out and set it off to the side. Now, let's prep Motormaster for the trailer for combination. You're gonna flip the hands in. Flip the hands in. And then you are basically done. If you want to use the wing pack, you do have to bring this down. But I will show off how he looks without it first, because you can do something with the wing pack if you don't want to have it on him. So let's set him off to the side. And let's bring in the trailer. Go ahead and remove the Motormaster face, or the Menasor face. Go ahead and remove these thrusters. Go ahead and I just flip these up right now. Go ahead and come here and just untab this section. You're going to want to shift this side up. Like, it doesn't just, tab together. It's, a hook tab situation thing. So you gotta, hook them down and then slide this down to lock it in place. You're gonna wanna bring this section up, activate the ankle tilt so you can flip out to the feet. Same thing on this side, and as you can see, let's get a good shot in there. The sculpting for the ankle tilt locks the foot in place, so you gotta do that to bring it out. And do that. You're gonna want to come to the rest of this and just open it. It tabs it in using this tab right here into the slot right here. So just open that. Remove that. As you can see, the hands tab into the gun right there and right there. Just want to pull them off. Pull them off. Take this section of the gun, flip it down. Take these, fold them down. Then you can flip out the handle, just like this. Now, if you don't want him wearing the wing pack, you can just fold these down. The missile pods will act as support. And you can just plug this right into here. And you have a little turret that is not wanting to stay. Yeah, you have a giant cannon emplacement, which is cool. Let's set this off to the side. And let's begin combining. So, you're going to want to take the feet. This, hole right here, the same one that you use to plug the trailer in. We'll go on here. Just like that. That holds pretty securely. Then you're going to want to bring this up, and it will, this little tab right there will hook over his knee like this. Do the same thing on the other side. There we go. And as you can see, he's already gotten quite a bit taller. Take the arms. This peg will peg in right here. just like that. Same thing on the other side. You're going to want to take the thrusters, and they will just peg into these ports on his arms. Peg in right there. Take the Motormaster, or the Menasor face, and just literally, let me raise the camera so you can see a little bit better. And then just literally slide it over Motormaster's face. And then here you have animated Menasor. Not fully combined, because of course, you know, there is the jetpack. But still, here he is without the jetpack. And he looks good, you know, he looks good. I do really like the way this looks. That being said, I do prefer it with the jetpack, but we're showing without for right now. And yeah, he looks good. Articulation is almost exactly the same. You know, the head can still do a lot of things. It can't look down very much because of the chin, but still. Arms can still do a full 360. They can still go out. Rotation is a little limited unless you want to, you know, pop these off, basically. The hands can still rotate. They're a little stiff, but they can still rotate, and they can open. Waist is still exactly the same. Hips are still exactly the same. Knees are exactly the same. The feet now can only, you know, tilt, but still, you do get a little bit of sculpting there to make that look a little more natural. But still, the toes can move down and the heels can move, but like, still. And you know, he can hold his sword nicely. Looks like he's about to beat you up. Slash, slash, slash. Now, to get this section into jetpack mode, first remove the gun. Open, you know, the wings. Take these missile pod sections, pop them off, and then plug them in right here. Do the same thing on the opposite side. And plug it on right here. Next, you're going to want to flip these sections out. And if you can see, mine has a little bit of a stress mark, because sometimes I do forget to flip these in, and this is where his, you know, feet go in trailer mode, so yeah, luckily I haven't broken it. Anyway, you're going to want to bring the backpack down. These hooks will go over these sections right here, just like that, and then just compresses like that. And then you have Motormaster with wings. Now, I know some people don't like having Motormaster with wings, but given that I display the Legacy version with the rest of the, you know, canon as wings, I don't mind it. I think it looks cool. And yeah, it doesn't hamper any articulation or anything like that. You can still, you know, kind of bring these out to the side to, you know, clear the horns and flip up the missiles. Has it in both sides. You know. You can still, you know, hold the sword. You can hold his giant gun. Sometimes it's easier to, you know, just kind of line it up and then, sometimes, alright. There you go. Sometimes it's a little hard to get it into his hand, but still. That being said, the bottom elbow joint right here, the one you'd naturally move first, on both sides is a little too weak to hold the gun up, but if you use the top joint, then that works out just fine. If I remember correctly, one second, I'm looking for one of my blast effects. The gun is, I believe, blast effect compatible? Yes it is. Yeah, the gun is blast effect compatible. So you can, you know, bloosh. If you don't want him holding either of the weapons, you know, you can simply just plug the gun back in right here. Then open this up, fold it out, and then you can, plug the sword back in right here, kind of do that, and he still stands perfectly fine. Yeah. He stands perfectly fine. If you just want him to be holding the gun without the sword, well, you can do this. Or, if you want to just store the sword, you can shift the missiles out so you have enough room to use these sections of the crossguard and just hook it into the wings. Move these back, and it's, the sword is stored. And he can just have the gun, if that's what you want. Now, for comparison, again, just so you can see how much height it gives him, here he is with, taking the axe off so he can actually stand. Here he is with Optimus. Here he is with Optimus. And here he is with B. So as you can see, the upgrade kit gives him quite a bit of height. And yeah, I really like this. And I love how, it's each section is painted to look like each Stunticon. You have Drag Strip, Dead End, Breakdown, and Wild Rider. Like, I love that. That is really freaking cool. And that's why I went with this version of the set over the, one that matches Motormaster more. Yeah, that one, is a little bit better for disguise, but, like, come on, you cannot say this is not fucking cool. Anyway, guys, that's been my review of Legacy Animated Motormaster and the DnA upgrade kit. If you want these figures, there's a couple people on eBay selling both together, but those are expensive. I think you can still find Motormaster on, like, Amazon and a couple other online retailers. The upgrade kit I bought from BigBadToyStore.com. You can find it on eBay and other sites as well, but I got it from Big Bad Toy Store. The only thing I've gotten from Big Bad Toy Store at the moment. I am going to be trying to get Age of the Prime's Onslaught from them, though. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Bye!